Hello, everybody. Welcome to another Tuesday night chat. There's some other invites out there. We may have a few other people joining us as usual. But for right now, it's just me and Rosie.
Chat.
Oh, yeah. We're all rookies, aren't we? It's just me and Rosie at the moment. But we're going to go ahead and start this at the designated time or almost right at it. And I'm going to let Rosie do an intro, and she's just going to go right into the information that she wants to share with everybody. And how you doing, Rosie? And you go right ahead.
Yeah, thank you, TR, and give everybody a jump and say happy Valentine's Day. For tomorrow, this is I'm going to be going on a big road trip, 8,000 miles, beginning on Saturday. So I will probably not see you guys unless something really major breaks, and then I'll make time to be on. Hey, everybody on the side chat, I'll make time to come on a TR chat. It's because things are swinging pretty wildly now. There's a lot of stuff going on in the world, so I'm scheduled to be away like 3 weeks. So I'll be going through TR chat withdrawals and everything else here. That's going to be a real bummer. Anybody has any suggestions besides drinking heavily, let me know how I can cope with that shit coming up. Anyway, a lot of stuff going on. I want to talk about the cryptocurrencies tonight and that continuing fallout from that. I'd also like to talk about the markets and also interest rates, the deficit, and the dollar. So I want to start off by talking. I guess we'll talk about the markets and the dollar and interest rates. It's fascinating to me. I don't know how you guys feel. The Trump tax cuts, they're really looking like almost like a two-edged sword now, and I think that they were specifically geared towards making United States companies more competitive, United States corporation, and making the playing field kind of level so that companies wouldn't be inclined to do all these offshore shenanigans like Apple to keep their offshore earnings overseas and not repatriate that money to the United States. As you know, TR, they employed tons of lawyers and accountants and tax experts over the year to try to avoid bringing money into the U.S. that would be taxed at a higher rate. So the real question is now the other side of that coin, though, is less revenue to the Treasury, and we get into this situation where we have the old supply side economics is coming to the fore again. And you remember under Ronald Reagan, one of the tenets of the supply side economics was that if you cut the taxation on people and corporations, that as a result, economic activity would increase, and you would more than make up for in the Treasury with marginal new taxes and things being raised than what was lost in cutting a tax. Well, we never really got to see Reaganomics, this supply side, in full force because they never, during flush times, Reagan wanted to reduce the size of government and reduce the growth of government, but really nothing was able to be done in that. And government spending, government programs, government entitlement programs just continued to grow and grow and grow. So we never really saw the other side of having fiscal restraint to hold back on spending. Well, we're kind of coming up to that same situation now in 2018, where we've had this big cut in interest rates. And I think what's spooking, this cut in taxes for 2018. And I think that this budget deficit is now projected to blow out to almost $1.2 trillion going forward to 2019 and beyond. That is a huge amount of debt to be rolled over and funded. And I think we may be at the point where we're going to see the limits of what's possible in the amount of debt that a nation can carry. And specifically, how much debt can you continue to roll over? How many years, year on year on year, can you run budget deficits? Even in these so-called good times, many years later, we're still running $600 billion deficits here. These are huge. And now with these tax cuts that come through, we're looking at almost taking that up to double the deficit. Consequently, some other parts are moving on the board. We're in this free market economy where it's like a balloon. If you squeeze the end somewhere, then the other part of the balloon bulges out. If you squeeze that back, it bulges out somewhere else. In other words, cause effect. So we're at the point now where I think what's spooking this stock market, and I've said this before, was the possibility that interest rates are going to have to start rising dramatically to make U.S. debt attractive to people that want to buy it. Remember, we have to basically run a supermarket against the whole world here. We're just one competing place that people can buy government debt. So maybe we have to start sweetening that debt a bit to make it look better in relation to the other people selling their debt, like Germany, Japan, China, other nations. So the reality is we're now at a point where interest rates look like they're starting to rise. And I'm seriously concerned here that they could rise very quickly. There's a lot of people that are long or heavily invested in the bond market, particularly on the long end, the 20-year, the 30-year. As rates rise, the longer the obligation you hold, the more acute the pain is when interest rates start to rise, because you're very leveraged out to the future. And a small rise in rates can have a very dramatic effect on the value. Your value can be lost very rapidly. Nobody wants to stand for that. So consequently, I think that they're going to be on a hair trigger. And if they sense that rates are really going to start moving up and pierce maybe the 3% level in the 10-year note, then they could head for the exits in a really fast way. And I'm wondering if this is what the stock market is sensing now, this potentially rising rapid interest rates due to budget deficits. Our US dollar is also under great pressure. I think it's lost 20% over the last 3 or 4 months, because if interest rates are rising, yeah, it'll attract some new money, but people were also losing principal when interest rates rise. They're losing money when they put money into our US government securities. If interest rates rise, the money they put in yesterday is worth less than the money today. So they're going to be repulsed of that. So this is what concerns me. In practical terms, where do we stand now? We talked about 2 scenarios last week. We had an A scenario where this was just a big correction in an ongoing market. People got too greedy. Things got too out of control. Or B, that this is the start of something big coming down. Now, we're not going to know that probably until the next 3 or 4 weeks. We're not going to know which is the more likely, the A or the B. And a big part of what's going to determine that is what happens to interest rates over the next few weeks. So stand by. If we take out the lows of last week, which is like 23,800 or 24,200, I don't know what it was, then we're probably going to go much, much lower. And unless we can take out the all-time high of 26,000, whatever that was, we're probably not going to go any higher. So we're really in this very delicate balancing game of where are we going to head to the exits in a huge way, a la 1929, or are we just going to say, whew, that was a close call. Glad we survived it, and now we're on to greater things. A lot of people think the economy is improving. There have been some pockets of strength there, but there's still competitive pressures, and there's still companies that are very overpriced in there. They were priced for perfection, so they were ripe for a fall. Okay, so that's where we stand. It's too early to really determine which way this is going to break. Now, if you ask me, based on the fracture that occurred 2 weeks ago, I would say the likelihood is we're going to go down in a major way here. So plan accordingly. Remember that markets don't fail on the declines. They fail because the rallies fail to go back to a new high. You remember when I said it's like a burning building? It's like planes flew into the top of the building and all the people are trapped up there to put a huge amount of money in the market. And they're just hoping that they get the ladders built up again so they can get the hell out of there. But they may not be able to be saved, in which case the market will give up, the firemen will pull away, the ladders will be pulled away, and everybody will run for cover because the building is going to come down. That's the best analogy that I can give you. Let's talk now about the cryptocurrencies. I'm going to post a link here on the side chat, and I want this to be an object lesson for everybody out here. This is a guy on YouTube that invested his life savings of $30,000 into BitConnect. And the problem is with a lot of these cryptocurrencies, this Bitcoin and other things, is that they spawn Ponzi schemes. They spawn people, promoters, rip-off artists that come out there and they create scams to separate you from your money. Now, I think I've pretty much made it clear what I think about Bitcoin, that I'm pretty sure that Bitcoin's going to go down to nothing eventually. But the real tragedy is, it's not just the Bitcoin that sucks people in, and I don't want to make Comms Prepper mad. He's a good friend of mine, real nice guy. We have differing opinions about cryptocurrencies, and that's fine. But you have these promoters that come along and they tell you, hey, look, instead of buying Bitcoin, why don't you just send us your money, and we'll give you a guarantee. We'll give you so much of a rate of interest per month for the money that you put in. Then as the Bitcoin rises, we pay you so much a month. So theoretically, if you give us $30,000, in 120 days, the way that the Bitcoin is mined, you should be able to have your money back. Well, if you look at this sad guy here, this guy, he's one of thousands and thousands that basically almost lost everything that he had, because he believed this promotional scheme and he was led to believe that Bitcoin is a one-way trip up. And it's not. It's in a far shakier position than gold and silver because it has no historical, what would you call it? It's not in the genes of people the way that gold and silver is. So the point is, if you're in this, take any chance, I would say, any rallies to be able to salvage and move out of that. Because unfortunately, most of these people came in at the very end when Bitcoin was making the big news and it was splashing up to $10,000, $11,000, $12,000. Now these people want to get their money out, and they can't even get out US dollars anymore. They get something called BCC coin. It's worth 90% less than the money that they put into it. Just beware of these scams. If something's too good to be true, it usually always is. So that's the update on that TR, where we stand in the markets. Hey, Comms here, and what I think is going on. So just be aware. So if anybody has any questions on the side chat. Hey, Rick, nice to see you.
Hello. How are you guys? I actually took your advice, Rosie, last week and sold everything I owned stock-wise.
Everything you owned.
I did.
Really?
I said, you know what? I'm tired of being in this. I had things that were up. I had things that were down. I knew that I was ahead of the game a little bit. And I said, fuck it.
Well, I think the issue is what kind of value. I mean, do you buy low or do you buy high? And that's the thing, Rick. Should we be trained to buy?
Oh, I was having fun doing some, with the California going legal marijuana. I was playing in the pot stuff. It was cheap, having fun with it. That was pretty good. I had some other stuff, some BICX, and I was trying some other stuff out. But I had Apple when it was really cheap, even before it split 6 ways back in the day, and sold some of that off to help pay for the house when we bought it. And then I kept the original 100 shares, and then finally got tired of seeing fucking stocks and looking at it, and not that I had millions in there or anything, but it was I finally said, hell with it. I'm gonna shut her down. Called it done. I sold it all out.
I applaud you. I mean, it's really not a value proposition. I mean, if you could be into these markets, say in 2008, when everything had its head handed to it, and tech companies, bubbles were collapsing, and real estate, man, that's the time when values, when you really have to gulp and take a deep breath and say, well, here we go. But you have a better chance of having a long-term financially good future in that than you do buying here at 26,000 on the Dow. And I mean, that's the reality here. So
well, and if I look at my Charles Schwab, it's like this. And then President Trump went in, and it definitely went way up, and then it flatlined like this. So I was losing my ass there for a while, and I got to where I basically broke even for the most part. Maybe there is some pluses and minuses in there, but now I got to figure out how to get it out without getting taxed too crazy.
If it's within a sheltered plan, you should be okay until such time as you go to withdraw it, right? I mean, it's not.
Yeah, basically right now it's in the, went from the stock back to cash, but it's still sitting in there.
Yeah.
So I got to figure out how I can get.
I think we can only a bit more. Like I said, these things fail on the attempt to make a high again. So that's the process we're going through right now. We're trying to get back up to the top again. Will we get there? I doubt it. I think there's too many people up there now that would love the chance to sell as we approach the old top again. And I think there'll be a lot of selling pressure up there. A lot of people will welcome the chance to offload a lot of stock and lighten up, thinking that, my God, I got a second chance to get the hell out of this thing. And I think they're going to have a very difficult time making more headway in the stocks. Companies like Apple, how much better can it get, Rick? How much more penetration can Apple get? How much more of a presence can it be, in terms of...
Well, that's the thing. After it split, basically that share, I was buying it for $60 a share, and now it's up to 170 something right now. So just getting rid of it, calling it done, taking my wins with my losses, and saying, all right, I'm done with it.
The same thing with same way I feel about Tesla. I mean, here's a guy that gets the glory for blasting a car into space. I mean, but meanwhile, the burn rate on cash and other things continues for the company. So there's a lot of flim flam. There's a lot of promotion out there. It's going to be very difficult to make additional headway given the competitive pressures in the world. I mean, you hit a good one, Rick, with cell phones. And I mean, the gap between Apple and everybody else is closing technologically, but the price gap remains huge between Apple. And I mean, there's Apple fanboys and fangirls out there. I get that. But when you look at the margin, what you're paying for Apple, and then even look at something as lowly as an LG phone, the gap is not that huge anymore between these phones. So the competitive pressures are going to build going forward.
And this was one of those things where when Apple came out with the first phone, like I used to have this phone called not a BlackBerry, but a Blackjack, I think is what it was called. And to try to get onto the internet was like a big pain in the ass, and there's like 20 different steps. And when that first phone came out, the Apple phone, it was user friendly. Like my wife could even get on the internet. Like, you know what I mean? Like I was like, this is what people need. And
yeah, because you know what Apple was? They were developing for products for consumers as opposed to tech geeks. That was their big innovation, was making things user friendly for people as opposed to just a thin layer of geeks that could enjoy something. They really they became specialists in building products that people could adapt to easily. That was their real core competency, like the iPad. I remember remember the iPod with all the phones, and all of a sudden everybody could just geek out with 5,000 songs on their
yeah.
Yeah, same kind of deal. They made it real friendly, so you didn't have to carry around a CD player or a Walkman or something like that. Right.
And at the time, you know, it was like this thick and maybe that square.
That's it. You could have
half the size of a freaking CD player.
Yeah, and you could have 5,000 songs jacked into that tiny little iPod with earbuds, and the battery would last for 10 hours. And I mean, that's the kind of thing that Apple really did. But we've reached the point now where it's difficult to break new. You know, Steve Jobs is long gone. You got Tim Cook as the chairman of the company now, and not everybody has the same creative vision. Those people come around very rarely, Rick. Those kind of
I think Steve was quite a mastermind of new technology, and now it's just who's got the. It's like you should have had a waterproof phone 5-6 phones ago, like
yeah.
But it's like, do I want to make a phone if I'm the phone company?
You know, it's the Apple Watch.
People are going to buy a new one because they fell in the pool or some shit.
Just geeky stuff. You know, the Apple phone, the Apple Watch. You know, it just becomes kind of geeky trinkets at this point, and it's like the mainstream product. I mean, I'm nervous if I'm at Apple. I'm thinking, how are we going to defend our market cap? You know, what are we going to do here to keep our dominance? And it's very difficult unless you have some really lightning strikes only a few times in life. Some geeks that sit around that table that really have a Steve Jobs sort of insight, they come along rarely. So that's my concern with companies like Apple. So, well, we'll see how it plays out. You know, we'll see how it goes.
Well, I'm out. I don't care now.
Just meant from an academic sort of exercise here to see how it works out, because
I noticed myself looking at
any market that's ever gone up like a parabola, forget about it. You know, it's like gold in 1979, 1980, tech stocks in 1990, real estate in 2008, same kind of deal on there. So
it feels good to be out, actually, not worried about the big collapse. Not that I have the cash in.
The other thing too, Rick, is you arguably sold high, you know, and that's the whole point of investing. You're never going to get the top 10%. You're never going to buy the lower 10%. But as long as you're doing basically the right things, then in the long run, you're going to do well. And then as the markets go down, and if they drop off 50%, you can start averaging in again, just getting a little bit every month, and start rebuilding into markets where they have more value. Because right now the value just isn't there. And now with these rising interest rates, I think other investments are going to start pulling money away from stocks. They're going to look more attractive. Interest rates, bank deposits, other things may start to rise again. Money markets, those type of things. Yeah, I never got the smartwatch either. Greg Campbell says I didn't get the smartwatch thing for people too lazy to take the iPhone out of their pocket. I don't know. I guess if you were jogging along, you could look fashionable if you had an iWatch or something. So I don't get it either.
Well, what's weird is I think the phone market killed the watch market. Like, I'm an older gentleman, you know, not old, but like I grew up wearing a watch. Always probably will ever wear a watch. But I notice a lot of people don't wear watches anymore.
No, that's right.
They use their phone. They use their phone to see what time it is.
Yeah, look at the panic that sets in when somebody can't find their phone.
Yeah. It's not because they want to know what time it is either. It's because it's an $800 phone. They're like, oh, fuck.
Oh my God, they might be talking about me on YouTube. They might be talking about me on YouTube. Where's my phone?
The only reason I don't wear a watch anymore is because I can't at work. Because they're worried about a watch falling off your wrist and getting in the box of product. So we can't wear any jewelry, watches, anything like that. And so I got out of the habit of wearing a watch. And so even on my days off, once you get out of the habit of it, I just don't wear a watch. And that's exactly what I do. If I want to know what time it is, I grab my phone. Okay.
Tool Monkey wears a watch.
Yeah, but he's in the tool room. Yeah, on the floor. Okay.
He'll be the one the watch goes into the product depth.
He stays in the tool bin and shaves like 100,000ths off of washers and shit.
Yeah,
we keep him in the dungeon. He's not allowed to go out on the floor.
How come you don't ever get on these chats there, TR? You banned him?
Nah, I gotta go set his computer up and get him set up so he can get on chat.
Not gonna happen, he said.
Yeah, now we think he's in mom's basement or something down there. So
he just got his changing the subject a little bit. He just got his suppressor. It only took almost 10 months for him finally to get his suppressor.
Wow.
Good God. I've been trying to order one. That the place I go, every time I try to go in there, he's not there to order it. I'm like, well, there went another month. I'm like, screw it. I think I went out and bought more gunpowder. I'm like,
creepy pastas that most companies don't even allow phones on the floor or production floor anymore. Interesting. It's too distracting, I would think. You know, somebody get hurt, forklift runs over you, or, it's too dangerous.
Yeah, we're stuck in some old technology at work. They don't want us to have a phone on the floor either, but I carry a phone. I got a little Bluetooth, headset thing, and I'm like, I got to wear earplugs. It's 2018. Radios don't work. The PA don't work because I'm wearing freaking earplugs. How in the hell am I supposed to hear a radio or a PA with earplugs in and it's loud as hell on the floor? We have the technology, So I'm just like, yeah, fuck it, write me up, whatever. I'm just going, because my boss, he's already given up trying to use radios and stuff to contact me. He's just like, he'll text me or call me, and I answer him, because even if I don't have the little earplugs in, if I have I got one of those little headset things that go around your neck, it'll vibrate, and I know I got a call coming in, because I can't hear shit out on the floor. I'll just pop the earbud in. Hey, what's up? What you need? Even though that's against policy rules, company rules, it's like, well, either leave the shit down.
Tool Monkey said he's special, so that's it. So he's a rule breaker.
Yeah. Yeah, we make fun of that. It's like, when did y'all write these damn rules? In the 90s? What the hell?
All right, I'll be right.
Okay. I mean, I get it, because they don't want people out on the floor looking at Facebook and whatever else. I get that. But your technical team needs to be able to communicate. When shit breaks, I'm the guy you call. If you can't get in touch with me, the machine stays down and we don't make money. So it's up to them.
What happened? Rosie bail out on you?
No, she just had to be right back.
Let's see if Sean White ends up with gold right now. Snowboarding. He was in second place. I think it was Japan. Waiting for the score.
Yeah, do you guys know they've had to have human resources departments come down and have training on the floor for people that have phone withdrawal when they're in production facilities and stuff that are sneak phones in and do all that craziness. I'm gonna get a cup of coffee. I just wanted to interject that because I heard TR talking about that.
Yeah, I don't doubt that one bit. Yeah. Yeah, people have latched onto technology so hard that, and I'm guilty of it to a certain extent myself. But at the same time, I think us and a little bit older, we remember not having cell phones. I remember when cell phones wasn't even a thing. I remember dialing the telephone with a rotary,
Yeah, we got first place. Gold, baby. Sorry. I've been waiting for this. I'm not a snowboarder, but I like when America wins the gold. That's freaking awesome. Sorry. Yeah, USA all the way. You been watching any of the Olympics, TR?
I've never watched the Olympics.
What the hell kind of American spirit is that?
I have watched a movie, Miracle, with Kurt Russell. I do remember that when that
The
happened.
hockey one?
Yeah.
How does that's the closest thing to the god darn Olympics you've seen?
Yeah. Well, I remember when it happened, but I didn't watch it even then. I just remember we won.
That's awesome. How many of you guys out there watched the Olympics, especially the Winter Olympics?
I'm just not a sports fan. I just never. The closest thing to sports I've ever watched, like pretty close for a few years, is I watched NASCAR because I was a motorhead, in my younger days, and hot rods and racing and stuff like that. Other than that, I don't watch sports. I don't watch baseball, football, anything. Olympics, I just don't give a shit.
Yeah.
I'm not saying anybody is wrong for watching it. Don't get me wrong.
I like watching it.
I've just never been a sports fan.
I'll even watch curling. That stupid ass.
Oh my God.
They slide the thing down and not that I'll sit there and watch it for hours. I just, when it's on, I'll watch it a couple times. And the reason why I do is because I go, you know what? This game would actually be fun if you had to drink. Like every time right before you threw the thing down, the curler or whatever the hell it's called, and you had to take like a shot of whiskey or something and chug a beer or something. Like it'd be entertaining. Like if they had that at a bar or something. I spend all my time working on my curling card collection. Huge
Talking about bars, we're getting off subject here. Me and Sonia went to like this past weekend. I was off, and so Saturday, was it Saturday night? I think it was Saturday night. I think, I don't know, Friday or Saturday. Anyway, we went to a little bar, and nobody listening or watching this will know what I'm talking about, but it was in Marietta. And you want to talk about a little hole in the wall place we went. We had a good time. Hanging out with the locals. Rick's got more important. I got somebody more important on the other line.
He's checking out the North Korean ice dancers in there.
His wife called him. That shut him down.
No, that's it. I don't know about you. I just can't get in. Apart from hockey, I'm just not really much into Winter Olympics. It's just not my thing. I'm actually not as much into Olympics as I was when I was younger. It's just, I don't know. You know. I mean, yes, ice figure skating's nice and those kind of things, but ski jump's cool. You never know, somebody might crack their head going down or something. But I think if we're just used to too much action in sports, stuff like curling, and I don't get anything out of curling.
Yeah,
You know,
I don't know. I just never been into Olympics. I mean, back when I was married, my wife would watch it, so I would see it because it was in front of me. I would technically watch it, but it wasn't what I wanted to watch. But you know, you do what you got to do.
well, it's like Tool Monkey said, biathlon's cool. Yeah, I mean, if you're a shooter, yeah, that's cool. I mean, I understand that, but you're skiing 15 kilometers or 50 kilometers and shooting along the way, so it's really how often are you coming up on targets? It's a very difficult sport to cover with television.
Yeah,
Because every setup looks kind of the same as the prior. Targets out there and stop, draw your weapon, shoot, move on. So the only thing that's difficult is the terrain that they're traversing. Now I agree with that. Tool Monkey says it's heart rate, it's control. I get that. It's endurance too. Greg said the only event I watch at the Olympics is women's volleyball.
can't imagine one.
You don't like that women's water polo? They're ripping each other's hair out and everything down there. And that's funny. I enjoy some of the track events. I enjoy some of the field events. I think the decathlon is probably my favorite all-around event because that just identifies the best of the best across 10 events. But as far as winter, I do enjoy the hockey. I go all the way back to 1980 and enjoying the Olympic gold medal and Mike Eruzione in the 1980 Miracle of Ice team. Yeah, okay. Greg said that water polo is boring unless someone tries to drown someone, but that's every match. I mean, they used to have Hungary playing Russia. There was just almost the water was red when they got out of those. Let's see. Slacker said a climber today fell to their death on Mount Hood. 8 others are trapped. Ongoing now. Oh no.
Is that part of the Olympics?
No, I don't think so. Mount Hood is. I think it is Mount Hood in Oregon.
I have no idea.
Oregon or Washington State is I'm not sure where Mount Hood is, or Montana, or somewhere on the Rockies. I'm not sure. NBC's covering the Olympics. Comcast NBC. Okay, yeah, okay. Which is it? Is it in Oregon or is it outside Portland? Okay. I thought Mount Hood was up there. See, my hands didn't even go to the keyboard to Google it. Okay, Mount Hood is in Oregon. It's the tallest peak. Okay. But this Olympics became all about the Koreas and yeah, another bullshit channel. That's right, Gear. I hardly watch TV. I just get most of my stuff online.
I get all my stuff online except that when I take a break at work, we got a TV playing, and there's nobody in there. I turn it to the news. Because other than that, I don't have cable at my house. I do have a Amazon. It's really a box. It's not the Fire Stick, but anyway, so I can like watch movies and what have you. But I don't have TV at home.
Yeah, I don't. I have it, but just for Jen to watch westerns and things, the old westerns, the Gunsmokes, the Cheyennes, the Wagon Trains, those things she enjoys watching. Yeah, Linda, I can't get into it. You can't put lipstick on a pig, and a lot of these events I don't give a damn about. They're not meaningful to me. I'm not trying to detract from the people that work tirelessly to perform, but we're kind of spoiled by sports here in our choices of what we can watch, and these sports tend to be a little slower moving. I mean, I've enjoyed downhill when they're racing downhill. That's fun. But again, that's a very high speed activity. It's all out, just going down as fast as you possibly can, jumping. And Fire TV Guru, best building updates for the Firebox stick. I used to have a Roku. I was one of the early adopters of Roku. Remember the Roku?
Mm-hmm.
Linda says, I'm into the winter sports except curling and figure skating and the hot shot sports like snowboarding. I love the racing and skiing. That's cool. I always thought luge was a bit interesting. I always thought bobsled, 4-man bobsled was kind of interesting. I remember Bob Hayes, when he played for the Dallas Cowboys, wide receiver, was a pusher on some teams. Okay, Com said I have Roku here in Bolivia. Interesting. I was really an early adopter on Roku.
Yeah, I mean, don't get me wrong. I get, like I said, most of the Olympics is like racing to be the fastest, and I mean, I don't mind watching a little bit of sled racing, slalom, whatever. I mean, I'm not against it. I don't hate it or anything. It's just not my thing to really watch that. But if I happen to come across it, I mean, I'll watch a few minutes of it, I guess.
Oh, that's cool. Cool Running was on TV yesterday. Oh, that's cool. You used it in Afghanistan too. Wow. Okay. Great. That's good. I bet you're going to be happy to get back to the States, Coms. What's that, March 1st? You don't have much time to go.
He's a traveler, that's for sure.
I mean, he gets around. I mean, whoa. Yeah, I miss John Candy. I was telling somebody on another chat tonight, man, I miss John Candy. He was great. And also John Ritter. I miss John Ritter too. He was good.
Yeah, that was kind of surprising that he passed away.
Yeah, AT's Com said 18 days until free America, baby. There we go. I don't comment on the vids, but I watch every one of them, Coms. All your, I guess I should start commenting. I have everything set in playlist in this morning. I just go through a lot of people's stuff, but I really enjoy the drone flying because it's new terrain and things down there. So it's fun to see that. Southern, oh. No,
yeah, I used to really make it a point to comment on everybody's videos that I try to watch because I mean you've been doing this longer than I have, Rosie. Maybe not much longer, but longer. And you end up subbing so many people. There's no way in hell you can watch everything. You just have to pick and choose.
Exactly. And you can't comment on everything. But if you tell people, I found if you call people out, I saw that vid comes. If you call people out when you see them in side chats and stuff, and then you say, hey, I saw the drone vids, because I know he had the vid of his drone was just sitting on like close up on the side of the hill there in the rocks and rubble. I find that people are pretty happy if they know that that you did see the vid. I mean, yeah, I guess I could take the time to do more, but I'm watching hundreds of videos a day. I mean, literally hundreds. And I think the view is really more important on that to support somebody like Coms and what he does. down there. It's like your stuff, TR. I mean, it takes a lot to move my needle to say, hey, this you know, when you did your 1873, I'm like, man, I got to come in here and comment on that. That is, that's incredible. Yeah, it only takes 6 seconds to comment. You're correct, you're good, but that's assuming I'm sober and that my fingers are properly working on the keyboard.
Yeah, actually, for anybody out there, the view is more important than the comment. It really is.
It is.
I don't know all the math, all the algorithms that YouTube uses, but the fact that somebody clicked on your video, it doesn't matter if it's 5 seconds or 50 seconds or 5 minutes. The fact that they clicked on your video actually does more for your channel than somebody commenting or liking or unliking or whatever.
Yeah,
Just
I heard that there's a 3-2-1, three points for the click, 2 points for the three points for the click, 2 points for the thumbs up, and 1 point for the comment. It's unbelievable. See, this is the stuff I don't understand. Like TRprepper does his drone vids down in Bolivia. You know, and all of his videos has been unsuitable for all advertisers. That is unbelievable. I mean, that is just, it's ridiculous. And then they make you have reach 1,000 views in 7 days. I mean, what the fuck? I mean, it's like,
yeah.
Yeah, YouTube puts a lot of weight on interactions too, if you engage people in comment sections and keep that going. Yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, it's. I know a lot of people are kind of whining about the new rules and stuff that's went down, and I've said it before, and I'll say it again. Okay, if you're already meeting it, yeah, don't make a difference to you, but I understand it to a point, as far as the monetization. But if you don't have those views and stuff and subs, you're not making money anyway. I don't really get what the big bitch is, because I know, and you know, Rosie, when you started, there was a plateau you had to hit before you could even you had to freaking apply for monetization.
Yeah, first you had to be approved as a partner. They had to review your channel. Then once you got approved as a partner, then you had to apply for AdSense. And then maybe, or maybe not, AdSense would say, okay, and link it up. Then it was a little easier, like we got 3 channels. So it was a little easier to hook the other 2 on. But man, if you're doing this stuff for money, you're just wasting a whole lot of your life. You're wasting a whole lot of your life. If you're not doing it for the fun and for the social connection and for the interaction, you're barking up the wrong tree, because this site's going the wrong direction right now. So I'll tell you, you're fighting a headwind in here.
Yeah, I agree. Absolutely. I mean, I monetize almost every video I do, but it's just that few crumbs I get back just help pay for, you know, cameras, ammo, whatever. But it don't pay for it all. I definitely spend more money making YouTube videos than I'm going to make.
Yep.
If I'm thinking I'm going to do this to make money, I need to just shut my channel off and stop, because I will make more money not doing YouTube than I do doing YouTube. Yep. I do this because I like it.
That's exactly right. Sometimes I put up 3 videos a day because I enjoy it. I wouldn't do it. Hell, if it was for the money, I'd run over the hill and that'd be that, you know.
You'll make more money picking up beer cans on the side of the road than you will YouTube.
Absolutely. I always tell people, just do it for the fun and everything else will fall into place. Mm-hmm. And a lot of people don't want to make, you know, we have this thing about trolls, blah, blah, blah. And a lot of people don't want to make content. They're here for the social interaction too.
That's exactly why I'm here.
And sometimes they get treated like second-class citizens because they're not content creators. But I say nonsense. They're the people that support the channels, that come out to the chats, that are probably a lot smarter than a lot of the content creators and have a lot more to offer. So they don't take as much time. They don't take the time to put up content and stuff. So there's a lot to be said for that too.
Yeah, I've had a few conversations on some chats talking about that, where people were really upset with the changes being made, and it's like I said, you know, come from me with the views and the hours and blah blah blah. Maybe it don't sound right coming from me, but it's like, look, even if you got it, you're not making money on it. So what does it freaking matter if they take away your monetization until you hit a certain point? Because you're not making money.
Yeah, well, they
it's
don't.
not like they're going to send you a $4.25 freaking check. They don't do that.
I don't think people realize. I mean, it sounds like something that you want to achieve, but then if you achieve it, like TR said, 4, 5, 6, 8, 10, 12 bucks a month. I mean, you're just, sometimes you can feel like a fool, you know, chasing something like that, as opposed to going out and picking up beer cans and soda cans and turn them. And it's probably more lucrative, like TR said, to do that on a daily basis, collect plastic, and then to go out there and fret about making 1,000 subs and 4,000 hours of watch time and all that. That's right, Gear Gredden. That's right. You can make that up an extra shift at work. Yep. Rather, who wouldn't like to have a comment from TRprepper? That's right. That's where you know you've done something in your life on YouTube.
Well, that's what inspires me, is the interaction, period. Is people commenting on my videos and trying to see as many videos as I can. And, you know, and I'll go ahead and apologize here publicly. I can't see all your videos, but I do try to comment, and I actually take a mental note, and not that my brain works that great, but I try to make sure that I hit channels that I hadn't seen in a while and make a comment, you know,
Yes.
and watch their video. And because I know when I first started years and years ago, years it? Damn near a decade ago, when people replied to my comment, I felt special. It meant a lot to me. It's like, holy crap, they actually replied to me. And I've kept that same mentality even now. And not that I'm any fucking body. I mean, I'm still a freaking small ass little channel in the YouTube world. But if somebody comments, I try to reply to their comment, at least give a thumbs up or heart the shit they got going on, that something, and let them know I do read the comments. I do get them. I get them all day long on my phone. You know, the way I set it up, and I guess it does, maybe it does it automatically, I don't know. I got videos from 8 years ago. Somebody will make a comment, within hours I'll comment back on the video that I had out, that I put out 8 freaking years ago. I try to comment. There's sometimes, and I will admit this, and I apologize, sometimes I'll do a video and I'll get so many comments so hard and so fast, I just give up.
Yeah.
It was just too many. I can't do it.
Well, it's hard for me. I mean, I've got 8,000 videos I've gone back.
You can't keep up with that.
If somebody makes a comment on a video from, 5 years ago, I got to go back and watch the video again. And it's like, invest that time. I'm like, oh man, that's past its sell-by date. I'm just not going to comment.
Sometimes you get overwhelmed and there's just no way to do it.
Like you said, if you put, I'm sure, I don't know how many comments you probably got on the 1873. probably everybody and his mother on your channel through history had come in to comment or say something about that. It's not like you're Antifa. I know that was a huge one for
For
people.
my channel, it was, yeah. There's over 5,000 comments on that, and I can tell you right now, I didn't reply to all those. No.
Your fingers would be bleeding right now if they were.
Yeah. Yeah, so many friends out there. Hey, Max, nice to see you.
Man, I got to hear all about the whole week I've been gone in like an hour. Like, can you just tell me when I get home? Like, so we have something to talk about? You tell me all this shit now when I get home. I'm just going to go straight in the garage and make ammo.
That's great. Shit.
We're going to do Nashville when I get back, TR.
Going to Nashville?
Yeah.
Maybe you'll take some better video than TR took up there.
Yeah, I did a shitty job.
Show me the side of buildings and shit. And I'm only kidding, TR. Hey, Rod.
Back alleyways.
Yeah, I'm like, okay, when are we going to have the sit down meals and all the get this video and stuff?
Well, that one guy that I got clogging or whatever you want to call it, dancing, evidently he's like a famous guy there. Popcorn Cotton or some shit like that. I did one video. We was just in the bar and the guy was out there dancing and I filmed it. And I had a bunch of comments from people who were like, "Oh, that's Popcorn, blah, blah, blah." And I'm like, okay, he's like a local little celebrity here.
Right, if you say so, okay. Hey, Popcorn.
It's a cool town, but I tell you what, you better fucking use your GPS in Nashville. Holy shit, that's a big city.
Yeah, we got my daughter's doing volleyball, and but it's a players only game or whatever, so you don't have to deal with all the kids that basically the coaches do all that. So we're gonna go out there anyways, but not probably watch a game or two, but we're gonna have some fun out there. It's gonna be Valentine's Day for us to get out there.
What's that mean, Rick? Just the traveling, just the
yeah, it's a travel team, so they go all over the place, Florida and Georgia, and they went to Arkansas.
You're not taking the bench with you. You're just taking the play. You're just taking the players. Okay.
Well, no, I'm not taking anybody.
No, but I mean they're not taking the whole. They're not taking the whole squad with them.
No, they're the whole team will be there, but the coaches are basically the chaperones and stuff.
Oh, okay, all right.
For the whole day through the night for that weekend. So we're going to be out there so we can watch a game, but we don't have any parenting. We don't have to do any of that shit. We're going to be able to go have fun and
how long
check out Nashville.
A weekend, or what's that going to be? How long is that going to be?
What, driving?
How long are you going to be in Nashville?
I think just like a Friday night and a Saturday, and then
okay.
It's a big city. Well, I know it's SoCal's out there making fun of me.
But there's Crazy Scott's. Hey, Scott's. Yeah, we got that.
Compared to where I grew up and lived, like Greenville is like the biggest city in South Carolina. As far as city, like 80,000 people. You go to Nashville, there's right at 800,000 people. That's a big fucking cultural change for me.
I got one building about 100 yards to my north that holds 30,000 people.
Well, see, fuck all that. That's too many damn people.
It is. That's why I moved to the woods.
Yeah, exactly.
Said I'm out of here.
Yeah, when I went to Nashville, the few times the times I went up there, it's nothing but on ramps, freeways, and congestion, and holy crap.
Yeah, I've been to Nashville. We drove through there, me and my Uncle Joe, and on the way from California to North Carolina. Did the Grand Ole Opry and stuff. That was really cool.
Yeah. I did show the original place the Grand Ole Opry was in one of my videos.
Yeah, you did. You did.
Because I thought the Grand Ole Opry was a place, and it's actually a radio show. It's not a place. And so I learned
it's a radio.
Because I went to the new one first, and I was like, this ain't the Grand Ole Opry. And then Tanya had to educate me and was like, no, it's a radio show. It's not a place. And I was like, well, okay.
And like, okay, where would I go see the radio show? It's pretty cool, all the big guitars and shit.
Mm-hmm. I didn't actually tour the new place of the Grand Ole Opry because I was carrying a gun, and they were fucking metal detecting everybody that went in. There wasn't even a show going on. I was like, I looked at Sonya and I was like, I can't go there.
That's really a protected. That's really a cultural place now. I mean, that's an icon. So I don't blame them for, TR. There's so many nuts out there. You never know who's going to do what.
Yeah. I mean, I just wasn't expecting it. I was going to go take a tour, and I seen the metal detector guy doing this, and I was like, I just looked at her and I was like, we can't go in there. I'll just take pictures from out here.
Yeah, I always tell my wife, oh man, I forgot my wallet in the truck. Be right back. They're like, where's Dad going? Oh, he forgot his wallet again. It's like, son of a bitch. Dad sure forgets his wallet a lot.
Yeah, they used to call Nashville the Athens of the South. Yes, they did.
Now, Nashville is a cool place. Don't get me wrong. Like I said, Sonya lived there for 20 years, so she knew all these hole-in-the-wall little restaurants and bars and places that were out of the what would be the tourist attractions. And, yeah, I had a lot of really good food, had a lot of really expensive food.
What's the specialty? Did I ask you before? What's Nashville known for? The Memphis rub? I mean, what is it? What's the big thing?
I think they do have their own barbecue kind of thing, but Nashville is so big. Well, for the South, it's big, and just the up and coming chefs. You could go, I mean, literally, it would almost be like an alley. You would go down, and it'd be this little restaurant that maybe holds 50 people or 80 people or something like that. And they would be serving, scallops and cooked this certain way with all these little side dishes. I mean, there's a lot of really cool places, but of course, a lot of those you're not going to really know unless you knew a local.
Did you have any Memphis fried chicken?
Yeah, I did.
How was it?
It was good.
Maybe you can give me a couple names of some places I need to go and check out, and I'll try to make the rounds.
All right. Well, I'll talk to her tomorrow because it is Valentine's Day.
Yeah, you better talk to her tomorrow.
Already made reservations. We're going to go eat tomorrow. So, yeah, I'll get her to write down a few places and
what do you like to
give you addresses and stuff, and let you check them out.
What's your family like to eat, Rick? Ribs or chicken or what?
All of it, really.
Okay.
Yeah, usually when we go to a restaurant, my wife's favorite question is, "What are you guys famous for?" And
that's what I ask. That's what I.
Yeah, and then they might say ribs or whatever, and then I'll think about getting those. Or
what's your best dish? What's your signature dish? That's what I always ask them.
Yeah, because
hot fried chicken is in Nashville. I grew up. Well, in Kentucky, they'd serve Maryland fried chicken. In Maryland, it'd be Kentucky fried, but the Eastern Shore of Maryland had some really fine chicken. That's where Purdue Farms started. And
I never thought of that. Kentucky Fried Chicken actually. Is that a style of chicken?
yeah, it was a way of
Kentucky?
preparing and spices is versus Maryland style.
Wow. Learn shit every time I come on here. I love it.
Yeah.
This is the place you want to go.
This is it. I wouldn't go anywhere else on Tuesday night.
Yeah.
Well, and the cool thing about Nashville is
Sorry, I'm going away for 3 weeks. Excuse me. Sorry, I'll be other places.
Oh, yeah, you're going on your trip.
Big trip, 8,000 miles. Woo. When I get back, I'm going to feel like that van is glued to my ass when that thing is.
It will be pretty much.
Yeah.
That's where those cooler seats come in.
Let's see. Odin the German Shepherd says there's awesome Rubicon's in Tulsa has awesome barbecue potatoes. I've never in my life heard of a barbecue potato. I can't imagine it's just putting barbecue sauce on a potato. I can't wait to hear. Okay, Chris says Rubicon's. Yep. What the hell is a barbecued potato?
I don't know.
I never heard of it.
Maybe it's like a loaded potato with all the shit on it. With some barbecue sauce or something.
Yeah, like this. I got my seat. I got my bamboo cushion. I always sit on here. Sound like that.
You might need to take that on the road with you.
I think I'm going to have to. I like it. Let's see. Barbecue taters. But what the hell is it? I mean, what do you put on the potatoes, SoCal? Okay, Maxine said we did 8,000 miles in 3.5 weeks. We're doing it in 3 weeks, so we're going for the new record.
You can be on the East Coast in 2.5 days if you.
Yeah. Oh, I've done 3 days coast to coast. I mean, my longest drive was from Quad Cities, Illinois, Iowa, right to Salt Lake City in one day. 1,200 miles in one day. That was the most I trucked out.
Odin says it's a stacked with brisket and hot links.
Okay, so it's not really a potato. It's probably just a potato peel holding you cook them in the barbecue, crispy on the outside, butter on the inside. Yeah. So, Cal, why in the hell aren't you on these panels, huh? Let's see.
I don't know why SoCal's not on here.
Yeah, he's got a link, asshole.
He just doesn't.
Get your ass over here.
I guess we're too low rent now here for SoCal.
Yeah, he's got that cooking channel, and he's got so many subscribers that he just can't hang out with us wee folk.
Man, what's cooking with SoCal? Hey. Cooking with SoCal. So really a barbecue potato is just a potato that has links and
it's a big, sounds like a baked potato with some shit inside of it.
But yeah, I'm always careful, Linda. I've traversed I-70 so many times across Missouri. I know Independence and Kansas City like the back of my hand, St. Charles, all through there.
I will tell you that one thing which I didn't really not expect, but I mean, the one thing I kind of did expect, and it did happen, is if you go to Nashville, I don't give a damn what kind of bar you go into, what hotel, damn near restaurant, there's a live band playing. Because there is a bunch of people trying to make their way into the, to be the next star or whatever. So there is like entertainers everywhere in Nashville. But that's definitely, if you go to Nashville, if you hadn't been there before, Rick, or if you said you drove through it, if you spend any time there, I don't know the address or anything, but go near the Grand Ole Opry. Like it's like 1 block over. There's a little main street there, and that's where all the old bars are and new bars. That I mean, like Hank Williams Sr. and all the big artists hung out. Those bars are still there. And nice. So when I was there, we would just like bar hop and just go to bar to bar to bar to bar. Not necessarily drinking and trying to get drunk, but just checking all the old pictures, and it really is really cool. And I will say, for as crowded as it is, and I know it's a lot of tourists, but it's a really friendly town. To be that many people, I'm not saying you don't have bad sections, but it's a really friendly town.
What about I know some people are out here are familiar with Atlanta. What about hanging around Atlanta? I mean, that's so huge now. Atlanta, I went in early 90s. I mean, it's a much different city now, but still a lot of, is there more stuff to see in Atlanta now, or does the traffic just make it too shitty to even contemplate visiting Atlanta?
Only thing I know is the airport. I land there every month.
I've passed through Atlanta several times, but I've never hung out there. I don't know. Atlanta don't have any appeal to me. It's only like 2 hours away from me, but there's nothing there that appeals to me to make me want to go there to hang out. Maybe I don't know about the cool places to go. I don't know.
Well, that's what I was asking on the side, because Scotsman said, fuck Atlanta, traffic on there. And I've heard before it just took the starch out of the people's wanting to visit Atlanta. Yeah, lots of strip clubs in Atlanta, Rosie. Yeah, I'm going to hit every one of them.
Did your Doritos?
Yeah, I'm going to be on the stage, baby. Guest appearance tonight. But okay, Atlanta is a shithole. I was just wondering, because I got a chance to visit Atlanta, and I'm just wondering if it's a big pass or it's just a waste of. Yeah, you ought to hear the old timers talk about Atlanta. They hate it. Wow. Okay. Yeah, I think it's probably the city that most northernized in the South, unfortunately, much to its detriment. So.
Okay, let me give a. This is another reason I tell people not to put open links in their description when they do a chat. For those that don't know this, probably this might be top secret information I shouldn't give. But Rick's asking the question on the internal that y'all can't see out there. The link to this chat, Rick, the chat window we're in, me, you, and Rosie. If you look up at that HTTPS link, that's the link.
Oh, gotcha.
Yeah, that brings you into the chat room. That's yeah. I just wondered about Atlanta because a friend of mine wants to go up to hang out in Atlanta, and I'm just thinking, it could be a short-lived experience. I mean, if you crazy about traffic and stuff, go for it. I just don't know if there's other cultural things to see.
Well, I will. And Rosie, you know me well enough to know I'm not trying to. I don't know how to word this. Let me put it this way. There is a lot of bars that are very transgender friendly in Atlanta. I guess that's a good way to say it. I don't know.
Well, the LGBT.
Does that make sense?
LGBT friendly, I guess.
Yeah, okay. There you go. Yeah. Because I know of people, even in Greenville, the place I'm at, friends I have, they go down there, and I know that's the type places they go to, and they in the past and what have you, there's a lot of those bars down there. So, not that that's all Atlanta is. Don't get me wrong.
I was kind of wondering, but I know Peachtree and I know those places, but I just thought, am I wrong that this was just a huge northernization of a southern city? That there's really not that much culturally. It's really the airport, the epicenter of transportation in the South that made it big. Not so much that the cultural and other stuff. It's just somebody I know wants to go hang out there, and I'm thinking it might be a colossal mistake to hang out there.
Historically and culture wise, I'm not sure that Atlanta's that special. And if there's stuff there that I don't know about, I apologize. I don't know. I mean, Atlanta's just not. It's a big city. I think it's just business wise why it built up. It does have history, but you just don't hear about people in the South going to Atlanta for.
Yeah, I mean, I just think of places I'd rather see Savannah myself than.
Yeah.
And I'd rather see Charleston and Low Country and that type of thing. I just don't have a hell of a lot of interest. And somebody was talking about hanging out in Atlanta, and I'm like, man, you might really regret that. So
yeah, Atlanta is just not that big of a. Yeah, if I was going to visit Georgia, I would definitely take the extra time to go to Savannah, in South Carolina, Charleston.
Charleston, yeah, that's pretty over there. That's cool.
Beautiful down there. That's absolutely gorgeous.
We did the horse carriage ride deals, where you go through the town and stuff, and you don't have to worry about driving. You just get to look around.
Yeah, I tell you, the hideaway on the South Carolina coast is Buford.
Well, look at this. Our friend SoCal the Snob has finally decided.
I normally don't do these chats on weeknights just because I get all friggin' into it, way too into it, especially with the booze. And I was at the dentist today, and I have ridiculously sensitive teeth, much like my ego. And I
was gonna say
I power up on Vicodin before I get there. And, I'm freaking loaded. I'm gonna try to maintain tonight.
Please, all right, just mellow out, or I'm gonna have to ban you.
Please tell me you're drinking heavily too. On top of that, please.
Well, of course, yes. Well, not heavily. I'm not drinking hard alcohol like I do on the weekends, but got a little cranberry and orange vodka. It's quite delicious.
Yes, Hilton Head's cool too. Been there.
Yeah, SoCal's high as fuck tonight. Yes, on the side chat, Metham. Yeah, it's the SoCal show from here on out. That's right. We're gonna hear about the dentist and yeah.
How exciting could that possibly be? Okay, so I sat in a chair like this for an hour and a half.
Work on the upper or lower.
Story over.
Did you get work on up or down? Upper or lower?
Oh no, it's just teeth cleaning.
Oh, routine. Okay.
Yeah, standard shit.
Congratulations, you're one of the few people with your teeth down here. That's great.
Yeah, I even have my wisdom teeth.
So I have half mine.
I'm afraid if I pull them out, my brains will fall out. That's the only thing I got left.
That's how deep the roots are.
Oh shit.
Well, TR, we got a Thursday's coming up here shortly. Oh, not this one. The next one. What the hell day is it?
Next one, I won't be able to do it.
Well, you're just a big bowl of fun.
I know. It's just like we can't. We'll get it together eventually.
How about March 1st?
Shit, that's a ways away. I'll have to look.
Well, there's only one other. Well, we still got the 15th, which I'll be at work. And then the 22nd, I'll be around. And then the 1st, I'll be around. I got to get you to shoot this IDPA. You're going to like it.
I know I will. So you said the 1st is the next one that you would be able to attend?
No, the 23rd of February and the 1st of March.
Let's see. Oh,
the 22nd, I mean.
No, can't do the 22nd.
You actually have a calendar, TR, that you like plan and schedule with? You got your shit together, dude. Right on.
Yeah.
He's got a girlfriend.
Figure it out.
Oh, there's that. Yeah, actually,
I
I
do
can see
math
it.
in my head real quick.
I do too. Even in my
Hey,
condition at this moment.
SoCal, I was thinking about doing a chat after this. The Tube Buddy chat.
Fuck. Great.
So stop drinking so much. So
No, we're not going to
Tube
get
Buddy,
into Buddy tonight. No.
you use Tube Buddy. I'm going to tell everybody about this damn thing.
I actually don't use TubeBuddy. The only reason I got an account for TubeBuddy is because I have 4 YouTube channels. And when I weaned myself out of Big Meat Sunday, which had like, fuck, I don't even know how many subs it has now, like close to 37,000 last time I checked. I wanted to try to drag people from that channel to my new channel. Well, it's not my new channel. I've had WTF SoCal since like, what, 2014 or something. But then I also was trying to drag people from my original YouTube channel, SoCal Preps, which I opened in 2010, into WTF SoCal. And I use that in order to do mass end cards from both channels into the one to say, hey, you know, we like these videos, go over here if you want to watch more videos from me, because I'm not doing this shit anymore. That's the only reason I did it. And I know there's a lot of other amazing tools that they have, but I truly don't utilize them.
Yeah, and the reason why I want to do a video is because I just started using it, but the pluses to it are amazing. So say you want to do a video on this red Sharpie pen, right? You can type in red Sharpie pen, and it'll show the ones that have the most views, you know, the ones that populate first, and it'll show all their tags that they're using. And you can copy all those and paste them right to your new video.
Yeah, there's lots of. Let's not even get into it here. It's going to bore the fuck out of people.
It's awesome.
Yeah,
All right, anyway.
I can't say it's worth it, but it's awesome.
Well, it helps. Especially a lot of us are small channels.
Yeah. So getting back to Nashville, I just want to add my little 10 cents on Nashville.
And then you'll be quiet?
I don't know. You could if you could. I've only been to Nashville once. I have second and third cousins that not come from there, but are existing there now. And I spent, what would we spend, like 4 days there? It is the coolest little city on the planet. It's so fun there.
It is.
And the food is amazing. And I'm a huge foodie dude. I get off on great restaurants and, you know, new interpretations of whatever dish might be. And yeah, I had a blast there. Everything, it's a tight little kind of cozy city compared to like Los Angeles or New York City or, you know, places like that. Everything's like condensed, and you can walk in like 6 blocks in any direction and everything is there. It's not like Los Angeles where it's kind of spewed out over, you know, 45 miles in every direction. And
where was that, SoCal? Modesto?
No, I'm talking about Nashville. I was there in, I think it was like 2012 or something. The fucking place is awesome. It's so much fun.
Well, that little strip I was talking about that's near the original place the Grand Ole Opry was, on the same street is where there's a big arena where they have their hockey team.
The hockey team, yeah.
I mean,
I was at the same place. I was at the same place.
Condensed. It's like right here.
Yeah. It's uphill in one direction, downhill in the other. You got the river to the other direction from the uphill side. Right across the river is what's the football team? The Titans Stadium on that side, on the other side of the river.
Yeah.
It's cool. Everything's like in that one little spot, and there's a million restaurants within like 3 blocks.
That's good. Yeah, it's supposed to be a real foodie town down there.
I have to admit, there was a lot of great restaurants, and every time I went there, I mean, you know, I don't know how many times I went there. I don't know, 6 or 7 times, 8 times. I don't know what it was. Might have been more than that. Pursuing Sonya, and but we ate at a lot of really great places.
Now we can admit it now.
and half the time it was a hole in the wall. I mean, it was like you walk up to it and it's like, okay, really, is this? And you walk in and there's like, oh, this is Chef such and such, and bring out these plates, and it's like, holy shit.
those little restaurants are the places to go, just because they're I won't say starving for clientele, but they're trying to beat everybody else that are in the same boat, you know.
Yeah, but SoCal, do you go for traditional old school stuff that's established for?
Oh yeah, totally. You know, living in California, it's like people claim to have soul food restaurants out here, and I'm gonna call bullshit. I want the real deal. So, you know, I'll go out, you know, when I'm back east and can get some time away from the farm or from, you know, Coda Boy's house, or, you know, whatever I might be doing back east. I definitely go to the slimiest, most, you know, ghetto restaurants I can find, because that's where the people are making the best food.
Yeah, you want to go to your...
Oakland's the only place I ever found out west that really approximated some true soul food like we had in the South. Otherwise, you're correct. You really have to go down there to get that in the South.
Where was that?
Oakland.
Yeah, I could see that. There's everybody. Have you ever heard of? I don't know if you have one up there. Roscoe's Chicken and Waffles.
No, we don't have one of them up here.
Yeah, it's. I mean, it's the closest thing you can get to soul food in Los Angeles area, greater. But it's, the waffles are soggy and the chicken.
Oh yeah, I don't.
It's kind of mushy and.
I hate that shit. Yeah, I don't want to.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I could say in the South, you just want to find what we call it is a meat and three, where you get a meat. What, you know, they'll have a selection: chicken, meatloaf, whatever, and then 3 vegetables. And that's the kind of restaurants I like to go to around here. And they'll just be local. They won't be a franchise. It'll just be a local restaurant. They'll have meatloaf, mashed potatoes, and baked macaroni and cheese, or collard greens, and you just got all these different vegetables and meats, and you just make your own menu. I mean, they give you the menu, and you make your own meal.
Yeah, exactly. It's like, this is the shit we cook.
Pick your own shit.
Pick some. What do you want to eat?
Yeah, pick 3.
Yeah, I want to try that Lambert's in Alabama, coming through there. Lambert's, the home of the throwed rolls, where they throw the rolls across the restaurant. I'm looking forward to trying that out. Good Southern eating.
Well, you're going to go through Texas, right?
Yep, all across, whatever, to I-10 through across Houston and right.
There's that when we went through there's that restaurant where they serve that big ass freaking steak.
Oh yeah, I know what you're talking about. It's
I can't remember.
Isn't it in like San Antonio or something?
Is that like the 6-pounder that if you eat?
Yeah, and you sit on the stage and you got a timer and shit. We were watching the guy try to eat that thing.
Yeah,
like there ain't no damn way.
I think it's like a 6-pounder, and you got like a half hour to do a 6-pound steak or something like that. Something crazy. Big ass porterhouse, and it's like if you don't make it, you're going to pay what, $150, $160 for it or something like that. So
I don't remember what the price was. I just remember watching the guy on stage trying to eat that thing, and he was like, he'd sit there and just cut. Like, he wasn't even eating. Like, I'm all, you better get to freaking chomping on that shit if you're going to try to beat this, you know, big Texan steak ranch.
Give you like a meat mallet so you can suck it through a straw.
I'm like the goofs that do the hot wings challenge off the wall.
Yeah, you open up a backpack and you got one of those like Vitamixers in there, 8 pounds of freaking meat. Throw a glass of water in there and turn into a freaking
72 ouncer. Yeah, the big Texan steak ranch, the 72 ouncer. That's the one down there.
That's only that's 6 pounds.
6 pounds.
See, I'm good
big
at
baby.
I like the hot wings challenge with the ghost peppers. That's my favorite. The guy is trying to make the wall of flame, to survive that. They're my favorite. Guy's crying like a baby. No milk.
I always notice that those crazy hot chili eating contests, the women always do better than the men.
Could be.
I was gonna add to that, but I figure I better not.
There's some chick that goes for it with, there's Joey Chestnut and Nathan's in Atlantic City every 4th of July, but there's some gal that can do that too. That's really puts them down, and she's not even big. I mean, she's just amazing. The belly capacity that some of these people have. I don't know. I have to try to figure out somebody will tell me on the side, the woman that eats a ton of hot dogs and can keep up with Joey Chestnut. Somebody will put it out there.
Most of those guys are super fit, though, if you think about it.
Well, I'm just saying, you'd think that they'd be tremendously big, and also what was that Japanese Kobayashi or whoever?
Yeah, that guy was thin as hell.
Thin as hell. I mean, I'm thinking, what the hell? What's the secret here?
Well, he purges, man. Can you imagine fucking eating 73 hot dogs in an hour, and then what do you do next? You go puke. That's the only logical explanation.
It's disgusting to me. But her name is, but
that makes me sick just thinking about it.
He has a YouTube.
I mean, I just think about the salt factor. Can you imagine the muscle cramps like a day later? Good Lord.
Yeah, somebody will tell me what this keeps up. I was just shocked at the number of the hot dogs that she put away.
What was it, Cool Hand Luke, where they do the eggs?
Yeah. He looked like a ripe watermelon there, Luke. Boink, boink. Yeah, he's tapping on his belly there.
You got one more in there.
Yeah, come on, Luke. You can do it, Luke. We got one more there. Open up. Come on, Luke. You can do it. Yeah.
Yeah, that guy eats once a year, each competition.
No, I think he eats sponges for fun. Just stretch his stomach out.
Good night, Maxine. I'm trying to think of what I'll figure it out. Know for next time what she was.
Do you have a chat after this one where you get all crazy?
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'll be right back.
The Dorito chips will be coming out. Oh, Methan. It's in the box.
Methan's on fire tonight, man. Usually he's not this social.
He's been drinking. He got it. He got it in the backside, so he's all pumped up.
You know him better than me, I guess.
Well, he was the one talking about it earlier. I still got to say, that's the funniest story I've ever heard on YouTube. The entire time I've been on YouTube, I don't know what the video is called, but Metham has the best story of how he met his wife. It is fucking hilarious. It is the funniest story I've ever heard, honest to God, ever heard on YouTube, ever. I don't know
the one where he's hanging out, watching all the college girls walking around and like.
No, it's more of a story. It's fucking hilarious. And at the end of the story, he says, "I don't want to blow it for you guys to watch it. It's fucking awesome. I love that fucking that video. I'm cracking up thinking about it right now. Go check it out. Metham, what's the name of that video? I took that video down because that guy's mom got pissed at him. Ah, bummer.
Ah, fuck her.
All right, put it back up for a minute so we can all watch it. It's fucking hilarious. If not, you're gonna have to do another video. I don't think you can ever redo it. It'd be like trying to redo a movie. These guys keep trying to make. You just once it's done, you can't make it. You can't redo a video. It doesn't work like that. 6 head on back. Oh, it's freaking hilarious.
Probably what pissed him off.
I gotta say, it was freaking hilarious.
I will say, Betham, he's hardcore. He don't give a damn.
No. He's gonna try and find it. That fucking video is hilarious. So you and Tool Monkey been shooting?
Now I need to get over there, let him shoot the lever action, and try out his new suppressor. He finally got.
What did you get it for? What caliber is it for?
Well, he got one that you can change the baffles and.
Okay.
You know, so you can make it 9mm, 22, 45. You make it whatever the hell you want. You just got to buy all that, which you don't have to get an extra tax stamp for that. The tube is what you got to get the tax stamp for. And he finally got it. It took almost 10 months to get it. But he got it for 45 to start with. That's what he bought. But he's ordered 9mm so he can put it on that CZ Scorpion Evo.
Yeah, that'll be a badass little unit.
Yeah.
PSA is making basically a what is it, M&P. So that'll be kind of cool.
Yeah.
Except it won't be full auto, which will suck.
Well, yeah, of course not. Who in the hell wants to go through that damn paperwork trail and
the full auto part?
Yeah.
I don't know. It was fun shooting those ones. I was like, I could get used to this.
They're fun. They're fun. Don't get me wrong, but I just personally wouldn't want that responsibility to where the ATF can walk into my home at any time, inventory my collection. Not that there's anything illegal in there. It's just like you give them that right to do that. It's just like, nah, I can't do it. Plus, I can pull the trigger pretty fast, and I have a hard time feeding my guns as it is. Full auto would just be like insane.
Yeah. No, it was cool. It was cool to do it, but yeah. Well, they're so expensive, plus all this paperwork and all the hassle. Fuck.
Yeah.
You know what, though? It's the same thing when you buy a suppressor. I think basically ATF could come to your house and say, hey, I want to see if you have your suppressor still.
Yeah, they can do that. It does, you know, you're like, you can't, like if, like my buddy Tool Monkey, he can't just like give it to me technically and say, hey, go try this out, and me leave, you know, with it to my house and use it. Yeah. It's got to be either in his possession or locked up in his residence or whatever.
Didn't he say he put it on a gun trust?
He did.
I kind of recall he did. So if he puts you in the trust, you can.
Well, no, that might be true. Yeah, I don't know.
It is absolutely true.
Well, see, and that's what sucks about a suppressor, too. If I wanted to bring mine to the farm, which I don't even have one yet, but I would have to basically get a thing, fill out the paperwork. I guess it's good for a year, though. But there's a lot of pain in the ass about one, too.
Yeah. They're cool. They're fun. I don't really see. I would love to have one, but at the same time, I mean, it's to me, it ain't that big a deal. It is really cool though, and they are fun. And they do have benefits. I mean, Jesus, I mean, if you're like me, I could shoot 10,000 rounds of ammo tomorrow on my property, and I would be legal. And my neighbors could complain, but they couldn't do a fucking thing about it. But I bet they would probably prefer if I was using a suppressor, so it wouldn't be so damn noisy. You know, I mean,
Yeah.
it's not like, oh, I'm going to go through all the paperwork, go through the ATF, get a tax stamp, pay the extra money, wait a damn near a year so I can go rob a bank.
Exactly.
Well, that's the same retardation that I go through every time I buy a gun. I have to wait 10 days. It's like, I got 2 safes full of fucking guns. Why do I need to wait 10 days? Because the other guns that I have aren't good enough to commit a crime? You're going to make me wait 10 days for this new one so I can commit a crime? Absolutely retarded.
MTTHEN.
I mean, the tax stamp thing should be the same thing. You know, yeah, you should, you know, if they're into it, yeah, okay, fine. Give me another tax stamp for $200, but they shouldn't make you wait another 8 to 12 months to get another SBR or whatever the fuck you're looking for. It's gay.
Yeah. Really, a suppressor should be no different than buying a firearm, period. It should be just like you do the federal paperwork that I don't care if you live in South Carolina or California. We both had to fill out the same federal form to buy it. What's the difference? They know I bought it. There was a background check. I'm good. What more is freaking needed? If I'm going to commit a crime with it, whether you wait 10 minutes, 10 seconds, or 10 months, doesn't change that I don't have a criminal record. And
right? It's stupid.
Because if you go and commit a crime, more than likely you probably didn't go to the store to buy a damn gun to start with.
Yeah, chances are I wouldn't use something that's registered to me in a crime.
Yeah.
Trying to find this video method. Oh, there it is. Sweet. I'm gonna fucking copy and paste this shit. All right. I think I got it. All right, here we go. Don't watch it now, you guys. Copy the link. What the fuck? Why didn't that work? Son of a bitch.
I want to say I did watch. I hadn't watched all of it yet. I plan on going back and watching the rest of it. Your chat, Rick, with the after chat with the Colt Python versus the Model 29 Smith & Wesson. And from what I've seen so far, the Colt wins. And I think, and I made the comment, I think Scotty is full of shit because evidently he's never shot a Colt Python.
I'm not going to say anything.
I don't care if the trigger pull was even harder. If anybody's felt a Colt Python, the buttery smooth action of that son of a bitch, holy shit.
Yeah.
Even SoCal said the Smith & Wesson had a smooth ass trigger. The stainless one.
It's funny, TR. I don't want to ruin the video for you, but if you want the spoiler, I'll give you the spoiler.
Yeah, give us a spoiler. Yep.
All right. So I have the old school blued gun like Scotty has, or no, well, yeah, it's the same version of the gun, but it's blued. And then I have a stainless steel version of the same gun that Scotty has. Or no, it's not the same gun. It's 357, not a 44 Magnum. But and then the Colt Python, and we did the blued Smith & Wesson, then the Python, then the stainless steel 357. And the stainless steel 357 had the smoothest and least amount of pull on the trigger. It was in the 1 pound range.
Wow.
where the Colt Python was in the low 2-pound range.
That's really light. Wow.
Yeah, it's kind of sick. And the double action pull on the the double action pull on the Python was like in the 8 and 9 pound range, where the double action on the Smith that was stainless steel was in the 6 pound range.
Wow.
So it actually pained me a little to reveal that, but nonetheless, you know, like it or love it, doesn't make Scotsman less of a fucking dickhead, though.
No, he'll always be champion of dickheads.
Hi, Scotsman.
Hey, Scotty.
We know you're watching.
Still haven't set your calendar.
I've felt a lot of Smith & Wessons, and I've felt a lot of Colts. And the bottom line to me, the smoothness, which is you can't freaking put a scale on that and measure it.
You're right, and it's hard to explain the difference between the two pulls, especially the double action pulls. But the Smith & Wesson, from what I recall, is it gets increasingly more difficult to pull, where the Colt starts off at one specific weight, and it kind of feels like it sticks with it the whole trigger pull. It doesn't get increasingly more difficult.
I wonder how you engineer
that's what I remember.
You can't measure that. You can't measure that.
I'm just saying that's what must be. I'd like to see the engineering on that.
Well, the Colt Python, every one of those were hand fitted, hand honed, and all that. Whereas, now don't get me wrong, I'm not saying the Smith & Wesson is not a fine firearm, and their older ones were really slick and cool feeling, but I felt a difference in my lifetime. I'm about to turn 50, and even the lighter trigger pull doesn't mean it's a better trigger. It was that smoothness, and where the Python really shined to me, the ones I felt, and I felt a few of them, it was just buttery smooth. Even if it was heavier, it didn't matter. It was just like butter. It was just like glass on glass. I mean, that damn thing is so slick and so smooth. And you can't explain it. You have to experience it. And, I don't even have a bias. I'm just like, my dad had several Colt Pythons, and I've shot them all, and holy shit, what a trigger.
See, how hard is it to fix the timing and all that shit on it? You got gunmetal asking.
Yeah, I'm intrigued by this.
You got the Python going out of time really easy.
I think you'd have to rebuild the gears in it. So you have the trigger that turns a wheel that grabs another wheel that spins the barrel, or the cylinder rather.
Because did they have an adjusting?
No, there's no way to adjust that.
So there you go. I mean, that's like, I don't know. That's what gun.
Well, maybe there is. I'm not the revolver guy.
I don't know. He said they go out of time pretty easily. If that's the case, I would be shocked if they didn't have some kind of set screw or something to adjust that. I don't know. I mean, they don't want people screwing around, obviously, with trigger pulls and things. If I'm a manufacturer, I wouldn't want people resetting trigger pull things and all that. So I don't know.
Well, back in the day, in competition shooting, Colt Python was the king. And as far as revolvers, now Smith & Wesson is the king. But that's because Colt quit producing fucking firearms.
They've quit producing anything.
Yeah.
They still make the same shit they did 50 years ago. Same with Remington. That's why they're going out of business.
Remington no longer.
No, they're ducking their lawsuit. They're just protecting assets tonight with the ruling coming out tomorrow. I think that whole bolt action.
So go buy plenty of stock in Remington, because that's going to
somebody will buy them. Somebody will buy them.
They're privately held. They're held by some Wall Street equity.
Yeah, like Blackwater or somebody, or not Blackwater, BlackRock or somebody like that.
Well, that's the whole thing with the Remington. It's a company bought them that
Sirius or something like that. Sirius.
Yeah, they didn't really have anything to do with firearms. They just bought them, and then there's like, oh, there's lawsuits and stuff, and we need to dump this because this is not good. And blah,
Yeah,
blah, blah.
some other gun company will come in and
Remember their sales
for pennies on the dollar.
Are off 36% year over year, like a lot of gun manufacturers, because Hillary did not get elected. So people stocked up ahead of time in anticipation of her possible victory. So it came down really hard on Remington.
Well, it came down, which makes no sense because AR-15 was used and they're going after Remington because they was in the same state or whatever, from what little bit I understand. I got a lot of reading to do, don't get me wrong. But
I think it was their AR.
It was their bolt action on some of their rifles. Was the gun was discharging without even pulling it.
Oh, yeah. I think it was a Model 70.
Yeah.
700.
Well, the article I read, it was over Sandy Hook.
Well, that's different. That's different.
Remington is in the same state, and they got lawsuits. They got lawsuits filed against them just because they're a fucking manufacturer of firearms.
But this main one was 10 years ago because these bolt-action rifles were discharging without pulling the trigger on them.
Oh, okay. Yeah. I remember that.
And, they had enough complaints come in from enough different people that they started to investigate. And they pressed a class action lawsuit on that. So tomorrow the ruling's coming out on that. And I think Remington decided to just sort of just do the cover their assets here and declare bankruptcy and reorganization, because you got to do that before the ruling comes down, not afterward.
Wait, you also have to remember we are in the age of kids eating Tide Pods.
Well, you got to think there's got to be millions of those Remington 700s out there.
Yeah, they are. And that's a problem.
I mean, there's a fuck.
They were very popular.
Why would you
point a certain
gun
trigger through a certain time? But
this goes back to the whole fucking gun safety thing to start with. You don't point a gun at something you don't want to destroy. You don't put your fucking finger on the trigger unless you want it to go off. You don't even fucking chamber around.
You make sure
gun ain't in the right fucking position.
Chambered, of course, but I'm saying we're real world out here, right? I mean, there's people that hold the barrel up to their eye and look down, and I mean, I don't know what to tell you. I've seen it. I've seen people turn around on a firing line the other direction and go up, waving the gun and I mean, Jesus, people are ducking for cover. I've seen all kinds of crazy shit.
Well, a rifle, I will never trust a rifle, even an AR-15, with a round in the chamber, period. If you drop AR-15 and it went off, it would not surprise me. If you dropped a fucking shotgun, it wouldn't surprise me. Whatever kind of rifle it is, rifles do not have the safeties built into them that pistols do. I will never trust a rifle loaded. A pistol, I would drop it from a helicopter at 100 feet into a concrete parking lot, and I would be surprised if it goes off.
There's no mechanism to make that go off.
Yeah, a rifle could, like this shotgun, I could cock these hammers. If it fell over and went off, I would be surprised if it didn't go off.
You're doing some drywall work.
But a pistol, that's a whole different thing. If it's a modern pistol, that son of a bitch ain't gonna go off. But a rifle, I don't trust a rifle. I mean, and I say that from just a safety standpoint, just the way the mechanisms are made. Stuff can shift and things like that. I just don't really trust a rifle. I would hope if I had an AR-15 with one chambered in it and the safety on and it fell, it wouldn't go off. But if it did go off, it wouldn't surprise me. It just wouldn't, because it's two different philosophies on how a gun is built between a rifle and a handgun. A handgun is made to be carried chambered. If it's got a safety on, like a 1911 or whatever. Rifles are not made to be chambered and carried. They're not.
Well, the floating, basically the. Okay, I can't think.
Yeah, despite what you see on The Walking Dead, they're not made to be carried.
Yeah. I mean, I would carry a 1911. I have carried a 1911, cocked and locked, on my side. Never think twice about it. My AR-15, I don't really want to chamber around in it until I know, hey, trouble's coming. It needs to be chambered or whatever. It's totally two different things. It really is.
Yeah. Well,
I'm sure some rifles are foolproof and some bitch can't go off unless the safety's off and all that. Don't get me wrong. Don't fact check me on that, because there's been millions of different rifles made that have different safeties. But I'm just saying, in general, a rifle is not as safe chambered as a pistol. There's almost no modern day pistol made that I'm worried about going off with a round chambered. A rifle, don't let it fall.
That's for sure.
No, I'd be diving for cover if I saw something fall.
No, without the safety on, most rifles are intended to use the least amount of trigger pull as possible, just for accuracy. So yeah.
Yeah, they're barely just hanging on. What other news we got? Hot topic wise.
Oh, I thought of something funny. Oh, the Michelle Obama portrait.
This is like this.
Oh my goodness! I don't know. TR and Rick, we're on the same Farmageddon.com, and did you see the picture I put in there? Holy fucking shit! That was awesome.
Yes.
That was the in-depth photo.
Oh, it was so funny.
Thermal camera one.
Some kind of.
Well, even though Obama won, there's all these presidents,
I don't want to get down
majestic and all that, and then there's Obama with all these little green leaves around him, and it's
like he's leaning up against a hedge. What is he doing, leaning against a hedge?
What a dick! The rose garden.
Well, getting on that, do y'all know the history and background of the artist that painted those?
No, that's why I thought it'd be pretty funny.
Well, he has a affinity. He has a thing. His main focus is painting black women chopping the head off of white women, and the whole thing is white women are she-devils and they all need to be killed. That was the artist that painted those. I shit you not. Look it up. It's like, okay, so you got a racist son of a bitch to paint these portraits. And even a racist son of a bitch painted the portraits of the first lady, the former first lady and president, in these fucked up looking photos. They made him look like idiot.
Yeah, the picture of Obama's like, at least it looks like him, but fuck, Michelle Obama, just who the fuck is that? It looks more like Whitney Houston than it does Michelle Obama.
Oh man. You give me something to look forward to when I get down to the White House, man. It's gonna be great.
Where are these located at?
They're going to be in the Smithsonian.
Yeah, they're in some like national.
I can't wait to see that, man. I'm gonna bring it back for you guys on a video.
Rick, put that picture up that I sent, and then talk while you're in the background, so people can really get a really good admiration for that.
Looks like something off the damn syrup container. All right, guys.
Did you get a good close of what she's leaning on?
Tales of the old South, you know. Shit. All right, guys. I'm gonna jump off. I got some stuff to do tonight.
Oh, here we go.
We're about to end this anyway.
Hope you don't get flagged, Rick.
Oh my god, that's fucking awesome. It is, Matham. It is.
Oh man, that's funny as hell. That's funny as hell. Oh shit. You guys are
All right, Rosie. Thanks for coming on. I'm gonna let you jump.
Yeah, I'll take care, okay? You guys.
Night, Rosie. Have a good one.
Thank you for a fun time tonight. What a great chat.
It was a fun time.
Yeah.
That looked like a big old.
It's Michelle's package.
She had a bigger dick than fucking Obama.
Well, we all know that.
It says that picture is all over Facebook.
Same with Hillary. Way bigger dick than Bill.
Hillary has one too?
She actually, I don't know if she had a dick or just a probe or what. She's not human. She's an alien of some sort.
Yeah, exactly.
That's what I hear.
All right,
it's all about the shoulder spacing.
Been a long day for me. Rosie's
been a long day.
We've gone 2 hours actually, and we're gonna go ahead and end this. I'm gonna let you guys do an outro, and I'm gonna start with Rick. Is your 6 covered? Would you like to do an outro?
All right. Welcome back, everybody. No, I was thinking about doing an after chat so that we can all learn how to have a bigger, better channel. And we're going to use TubeBuddy. It's a free thing. Yes, we are, SoCal. Don't even argue with me on this one. Because I'm going to do it by myself if I have to. So check that out. But it's going to be some cool things I learned using the app. So stay tuned. And make sure you check out Metham88's VR. Peace.
I would hang out with you guys, but I'm wore the hell out. I've done my day today. I've done work 12 hours and done a 2-hour chat and blah, blah, blah. Holy shit, I'm tired. SoCal, would you like to do an outro?
Oh, I guess. Let's see. I actually did a few videos, like in a row. I put up more than one video, like, as opposed to like once every 3 weeks. I put 3 out in a row, and there's another one coming up on Thursday, rather. Another one coming out on Saturday. And yeah, so I probably won't do another video for another couple months then. I don't know. It's always fun to be on here. Thanks for talking me into it. Probably don't have any business talking to public at all at this point, but all the people out in the side chat, fuck yeah. Nice seeing you guys. Metham, just fucking give me a break, bro.
We just helped promote his channel, and he's getting all crazy on me.
He's hating on me. It's all right, though. I love that guy. Anybody that is a buddy of Pop's, a buddy of mine, like it or not, I've known Robbie for fucking 10 years now, almost. Well, 8 years, whatever. More than I've known any of you guys. But where the fuck am I headed? See, this is why you don't let me on fucking chats high on Vicodin. I shouldn't be out here right now. I'm going away now. Bye.
All right. Thanks everybody for coming by. As I was hoping Fuzzfort was going to hang around a little longer before we started showing guns, because he said I needed a double barrel shotgun with rabbit ears on them, or like that. So, check that shit. That is a old shotgun. This was a inheritance from a grandfather, 20 gauge. I just wanted to show it off, and I'm assuming the stock is cracked right here because it got electrical tape on it. And I don't know, they just don't build shit like they used to, because this electrical tape is older than me and there's nothing oozing out of it. It's hard as a rock and probably stronger than steel.
I bet it is, man.
But I've never shot this gun, and I really don't plan on it. Yeah, I mean, it's the old. I mean, it don't even have a serial number on it. I mean, it's like made in the early 1900s. You know, I'm sure it's not worth really anything. It's just sentimental value. But I just thought I'd show that off right quick.
That is a sweet little shooter, though. If it could,
Yeah.
If you would, I'm sure it works fine. I'm sure it works fine.
Yeah, I mean, I can dry fire it. Let's see, where's that? You know, I mean, it'll pop, whatever. It'll probably.
If you're gonna do that, you might as well just throw some 20 gauge in that shit.
I might do it one day.
Start off small with like birdshot.
Oh yeah,
definitely work up to like Magnum slugs.
Yeah, no, just don't shoot Magnum shit.
Birdshot.
All it is two fucking pieces of pipe and a fucking hammer on 2 ends.
Yeah, well, actually, what you do is start with Skittles, like Bald and Curious. Start with Skittles and then work your way up to like Pop Rocks.
Yeah.
And then
it's the only thing I have from my grandfather for his inheritance on my dad's side. So, you know, it's just kind of it's a nostalgic kind of thing more than anything. But I'm sure if I put 2 shells in it, some bitch would go off. Anyway. Thanks for coming by, everybody, and just for the hell of it, I know it's not that big a deal, but God,
no, it's a big deal.
That
case hardening looks fucking sexy as balls. No, boobs is what I meant to say.
That is just fucking gorgeous. And if we get down to the farm again, you motherfuckers are going to have to shoot it. I'm going to stick this in everybody's hand. You some bitches are going to have to shoot it.
I'm sure I would be asking. I like love reactions. I only have one, but I really like them.
All right, guys and gals. Gonna call it a night, and we'll see you next time. Later.
See you.